Hello, salam, namaste, everyone, and welcome to the second episode of our multilingual series of KB Explores, titled Becoming an Entrepreneur. तो आज का हमारा सेशन उर्दू में किया जाएगा, and because it's multilingual series, this time we're going to do it in Urdu/Hindi. So आज के हमारे जो दो guests हैं, बहुत ही you will see in a few moments, बहुत ही inspirational लोग हैं. ये दोनों recent graduates हैं from their respective universities, and वो अपनी entrepreneurial journey में लग चुके हैं, and you'll get to know more about their entrepreneurial journey very soon. So चूंकि हमारे पास सिर्फ 1 घंटा है and there's so much to cover in this 1 hour, so without any further ado, I'll welcome the guests. So our first guest for today is Alisha Bhanji. Who has been like a fellow at the University of Waterloo with myself, and she's excuse me, and she's also the co-founder and CEO of Scope Photonics. So Alisha Bhanji, everyone.
Thank you.
I know we cannot hear the audience actually clapping, but we will do it for you. And our second guest for tonight is Rabia Dhanani, who is a recent graduate from the UBC, and she has वो अपनी entrepreneurial journey में she's the founder and CEO of Siempre Eco, if I pronounce it correctly. So let's hear it for Rabia Dhanani, everyone. So Alisha Bhanji, अगर आप हमें अपने बारे में and if you can tell something about Scope Photonics, I'll get it over to you.
Sounds great. Thank you. So hi, everyone. I'm Alisha Bhanji. As Kamran mentioned, I'm the CEO and co-founder of Scope Photonics. Scope is creating electrically tunable lenses for lossless zoom and compact cameras. It sounds like a big mouthful, so I'll try and give an easier explanation, which is, if you wear glasses and your eyesight changes, if it gets stronger or weaker, you have to go back and get a new pair of glasses. The types of lenses that we're making is essentially as if you have one pair of lenses, and if you had a dial, anytime your eyesight changed, you would have all of the optical powers, all of the numbers in that one glass. But the application that we're actually targeting this towards is your smartphone. So you see every new iteration of smartphone has yet another camera on the back. But ideally with Scope's technology, you could replace, let's say, all 3 of the current cameras on the back of the Apple iPhone with one that is not only smaller and cheaper and more aesthetically pleasing, but offers true optical zoom. And I'll try and switch more into Hindi and Urdu now because it's not my first language, and so yeah. But that's essentially what Scope is working on. And as Kamran mentioned, I went to the University of Waterloo where I studied nanotechnology engineering, and I graduated last year, and I've been working on Scope ever since. So that's me.
That is really exciting, Alisha. Thank you so much. It's really, I knew about this startup before, and I was really inspired with the stuff that she does. So just to give you, of course, like Alisha's first language is not Hindi or Urdu. मैं थोड़ा सा translate करूँगा whatever you have said. So Alisha Bhanji Waterloo से graduate हैं, and उसने वहाँ से undergrad किया है nanotechnology, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. And then Scope Photonics, जो इनकी startup है, Scope Photonics is working on programmable lenses. So कोई भी lens जो कि हम अभी फिलहाल, for example, I'm wearing glasses, Rabia is wearing glasses. So we could use the same, हम लोग एक ही glasses program करके, I can put it to my power, and then Rabia can use the same glasses, वो उसी glasses को reprogram करके अपने numbers के हिसाब से, अपनी power के हिसाब से, she can do with the technology that Alisha is working on. The application, इनकी application mainly is on the camera lenses. जो भी आप smartphones पे cameras वगैरह देखते हैं, there's more than one cameras behind each phone. My camera has maybe 4 of them. So उन सब cameras का एक substitute, they'll have only one lens, and then that could be programmed to whatever zoom, जितना आपको zoom करना है उस camera के अंदर, you can do all of that with one lens only. Really inspiring. I'm really proud to be your friend, just knowing about that, Alisha. Moving on, Rabia, अपने बारे में कुछ बताएं, अपने startup के बारे में कुछ बताएं.
Yes, so मेरा नाम राबिया है एंड मैं यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ ब्रिटिश कोलंबिया से ग्रेजुएट हुई हूँ. तो मैंने लास्ट ईयर में 2020 में अपना अंडरग्रेड कंप्लीट किया था एंड मेरी डिग्री इज़ इन ह्यूमन जियोग्राफी एंड माइनर इन सोशियोलॉजी. एंड मैंने साथ में नॉट ऑफिशियली बट मैंने बहुत सारे बिजनेस कोर्सेज भी लिए थे विच ट्रूली हैज़ हेल्प मी गेट माई स्टार्टअप अप एंड रेडी. तो मेरी स्टार्टअप का नाम है Siempre इको एंड Siempre एक स्पेनिश वर्ड है जिसका मतलब है ऑलवेज और फॉरएवर. तो इन एसेंस वी आर सेइंग वी आर ऑलवेज इको और फॉरएवर इको फ्रेंडली. एंड द आइडिया ऐसा आया था कि मैं बचपन से हमेशा बहुत इको फ्रेंडली लाइफस्टाइल में इंटरेस्टेड रही हूँ हमेशा से. प्रॉब्लम ये था कि जैसे हम पाकिस्तानी लोग होते हैं, साउथ एशियन कल्चर होता है, हम प्लास्टिक बहुत यूज़ करते हैं. घर में थैलियाँ पड़ी होती हैं, बाहर जा रहे हैं प्लास्टिक की स्ट्रॉ ले रहे हैं. और हमारे कल्चर में इट्स ट्रूली वी आर वेरी वेस्टफुल विद आवर रिसोर्सेज. और मैं 6 कंट्रीज में रह चुकी हूँ मेरी लाइफ टाइम में एंड हर जगह मैंने यही प्रॉब्लम देखा था कि या तो बहुत वेस्ट होता है या तो जो लोग जिनको इको फ्रेंडली बनना है उनको वो लाइफस्टाइल बहुत एक्सपेंसिव पड़ रहा है बिकॉज इको फ्रेंडली लाइफस्टाइल इज नॉट चीप. तो मेरा आइडिया ये था कि आई शुड फाइंड अ वे टू ब्रिज दिस गैप बिटवीन अफोर्डेबिलिटी एंड सस्टेनेबिलिटी विदाउट कॉम्प्रोमाइजिंग ऑन द क्वालिटी ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट्स दैट यू विल यूज. तो मैंने अपने घर से प्रोडक्ट्स बनाना स्टार्ट किया एंड मुझे 4 हफ्ते लगे. मैंने बहुत चीज़ें भी वेस्ट की. मेरा फर्स्ट प्रोडक्ट था बीज वैक्स रैप्स जो प्लास्टिक क्लिंग फॉइल को रिप्लेस करता है. तो वो कपड़े का बना होता है, उसमें बीज वैक्स होता है. इट्स एंटी बैक्टीरियल, तो आपका खाना भी ट्वाइस एज लॉन्ग फ्रेश रहता है. हमने एक्सपेरिमेंट्स भी बहुत किए. अब हम अगर अपने जैसे धनिया होता है सिलांट्रो, इफ वी रैप बीज वैक्स रैप, we've done experiments, it will last you 31 days as compared to अगर आप खाली फ्रिज में रख रहे हो अपने नॉर्मल बैग या खाली, it will last you only 10 days. तो ये जो है इट्स अ वेरी ऑर्गेनिक आई वुड से थिंग जो सालों से हमारे पास अवेलेबल है पर कोई यूज नहीं कर रहा था. और जो यूज करते भी हैं जो कंपनीज वो बहुत प्रॉफिट बनाते हैं. तो ऑब्वियसली वी आर ट्राइंग टू ब्रिज दिस गैप एंड सो वी हैव फाउंड अ वे कि हम लोकल अल्बर्टा बीज वैक्स यूज करें. we've got deals with a lot of farms here. वो हमको अपना excess bees wax देते हैं which is basically a byproduct of producing honey. तो हम ऐसा नहीं कि हम बीज को प्रेशर कर रहे कुछ प्रोड्यूस करने में, इट वुड हैव गॉन टू वेस्ट. तो हम वो वेस्ट प्रोडक्ट उठा के वी पुट इट इन अ क्लॉथ एंड दैट्स द फर्स्ट प्रोडक्ट दैट आई केम अप विद. उसके बाद मैंने बहुत और चीज़ें भी अपनी लाइन में डाली जो मैं खुद बनाती हूँ एंड दैट्स हाउ इट स्टार्टेड. सो ये मेरा स्टार्टअप है एंड नाउ माशाल्लाह वी आर इन 30 stores across the country. So yeah, that's how it started.
Wow, Rabia, I didn't know too much about this thing. And of course, अगर मेरी मम्मा देख रही हैं, तो you have another customer here. And I'm pretty sure any of the South Asian mothers, when as soon as you hit the word cilantro there, I'm sure all the South Asian mothers will be like, oh, we want this product right away. So that's amazing. And then the fact that you just created all of that, आपने अपने घर के अंदर से start किया, that's even wow. Stuff. So we did heard you, Rabia, telling about how this all started. So I'm going to go back to Alicia. Alicia, आप हमें बता सकते हो कि आपका जो Scope Photonics है, how did it actually started? It's a very techie space. So like, what actually kind of told you that Scope Photonics and nothing else? Or like, what was the drive behind all this?
Yeah, so जब मैं यूनिवर्सिटी में थी तो especially Waterloo में you have to as part of your degree you have to do co-op programs जो internships बुलाते हैं. तो मेरी beginning few internships research की space में थी जो कि मैं like Harvard और MIT में गई और वहाँ research करने लगी. और मुझे बेसिकली कटिंग एज साइंस में बहुत इंटरेस्ट था और मुझे लग रहा था कि ये बड़ी यूनिवर्सिटीज़ में जाकर मैं बहुत सीखूंगी और समझ like I'll understand how to actually discover things. और it was an amazing experience. बहुत सारी चीज़ें मुझे like मैं सीखी. I don't know if that's the way to say it. And then I think I had this realization at some point कि जो लैब में professors बनाते हैं in some situations decades लगते हैं for that thing to reach into the hands of people, customers whose lives it can impact. or mujhe like I wanted that the thing that I work on for it to be useful to other people, for it to improve their lives. And so the next couple internships I did, for example, at Apple and NASA, I learned how bड़ी supply chain kaise chalti hai across borders, across industries. मैं China गई और China की सब factories में देख रही थी कि सब कैसे, like how does it all work, you know? And I was learning that and picking up skills. And so जब मैं Waterloo में आई मेरी last term के लिए और last year के लिए, what engineering में Canada में और US में, they make you do a final year design engineering capstone project, and you work on it for the better part of like एक साल. तो फिर मैंने और मेरे जो टीममेट्स थे हमें डिसाइड किए कि अगर हम इतनी लंबी टाइम स्पेंड करें ये चीज़ पर, we wanted to be something that is useful beyond, you know, a typical school project. And we want to turn it into a startup that can have an impact beyond just our school and our, you know, once we graduate. And so that's the mentality that we went into Scope Photonics with, of we want to create value. And luckily, that's also the basic mindset and understanding that you have to have for creating a business, that you are adding value to someone else's life. And that's kind of the way in which it began. And again, with the engineering background, you have to take something that from the knowledge that you've picked up. Jab tum school mein ho, you're getting this knowledge that most people don't have. And so you have that extra value that you can use now, that extra knowledge to help people.
Yeah.
Wow. I know, Rabia, you have been through, like, I mean, this is I know a bit about Alicia's project, so that much, sorry, already. So I'm still, every time she tells me about this, I'm still in awe every time. So,
no, so impressed. We need to hang out.
Yeah, definitely.
So Rabia, I know, like, you have been through the stuff about how it all started for you. Do you want to add something in here, or like, do you want to something?
I think Alicia भी इस पे agree करेगी. मतलब start करना, I think now कि start करना बहुत आसान है. It's the maintaining that's hard. क्योंकि शुरू में मुझे लगता था कि हाँ ठीक है, कितना अभी plan करके will start. तब मुझे वो बहुत difficult लगता था because I was scared. क्योंकि मेरे पास business degree नहीं है और चलो कितना भी कर ले और मैं अकेली इंसान, ठीक है, मेरे पास कोई co-founder नहीं है, which I think Alicia you're so lucky to have. And so like doing it all alone, I was very scared. It was the peak time of the pandemic. The reason I started this business was because I had lost all my other potential backup plans. So after grad, मुझे जाना था Kenya. मेरी job secure थी वहाँ पे. I was supposed to be there for 2 years. मेरे पास मेरा पूरा 10 साल का प्लान था. मैं वहाँ 2 साल करूँगी, grad school के लिए आऊँगी, ये करूँगी, वो करूँगी. And then it all went down, right? तो फिर मैंने सोचा कि ठीक है, अब मुझे already इसमें interest है. अगर मेरा summer project था कि मैं घर में बैठ के 20 लाख shots बनाऊँगी, because I was bored out of my mind. करते करते इतना बढ़ गया, मेरे friends ने बोला, you know, we'd actually buy this from you. इतना अच्छा बन गया, मैंने बोला ठीक है, maybe it can be a company after all, maybe, because I had never in my life thought that I would run a business, let alone 2. I'm planning to start my 3rd one now, and it's been wild. So जब ये हुआ, I was like ठीक है, but it's the constant perseverance जो आपके दिमाग में होनी चाहिए. Mindset is so important because मुझे पता है कि मैंने कितनी दफा क्विट करने के बारे में सोचा है, and I have no shame in saying that. You know, मैंने सोचा कि मैं क्विट कर दूँ, फिर मैंने सोचा नहीं, अगर वो 4 लोग भी मेरे प्रोडक्ट्स खरीद रहे हैं ना, उसमें कुछ है, क्योंकि वरना वो क्यों खरीदेंगे मेरी चीज़ें. तो ये है कि आई थिंक अगर आप लोग सोच रहे हो कि आपको बिजनेस खोलना है, आपको एंटरप्रेन्योर बनना है, माइंडसेट इज सो इम्पोर्टेंट. यू नीड टू बी स्ट्रॉन्ग. और हर रिजेक्शन के साथ ना, डोंट टेक इट एज अ रिजेक्शन, आपको फेलियर, you have to take it as a learning experience. मैंने अभी हमेशा, मैं प्राउडली बोलती हूँ मेरे प्रोडक्ट सभी स्टोर्स में हैं, बट वो किसी को नहीं पता कि मुझे 150 लोगों ने मुझे मना भी किया है. और वो क्यों, एंड यू नो इट्स रियली हार्ड. कल सुबह मैं उठी और मेरे ईमेल पे रिजेक्शन था. A store that I really wanted doesn't want to work with me. मेरा पूरा दिन खराब गया, but ठीक है, I asked them why. तो I think ये है कि it's really important कि अगर आप कर रहे हो, mindset is very important. It's like the basis of your business. Yeah.
Definitely, and I know it's not about me, but I really feel like I was resonating when you were talking about that bravery. So similar things I've experienced, like So I really, you're so brave to actually, you let go of that opportunity. I did not. I am taking this on the side, but that's really brave of you to do that, and may want to give you like lots of success. But that's a lot of bravery right there. So that's amazing. So and thank you for not like whatever I said in the beginning. This conversation is so inspirational already. I can't even wait for like all the other questions I have on board.
Yeah.
So आप लोगों का क्या vision है about your startups? Let's say, what do you not in the next 5 years, but like something that you would vision your startup to be like known as in certain years time, and whatever, like what's the goal that you want to reach for each of your startups?
Which I want to go first?
Sure. So स्कोप के लिए ये बड़ी विजन जो है कि जब like जहाँ जहाँ तुम lenses देखते हो वहाँ स्कोप के lenses है, क्योंकि जो lens scope replace कर रहा है can do everything the lens it's replacing can do, and then add some extra functionality. And so ideally it's not just कि smartphones में हो, like smartphones बहुत बड़ी industry है, you know, like $31.1 billion की सिर्फ ये camera lens की industry है. लेकिन lenses अब जब हमारी society like just direction में जा रही है with, you know, Cameron, what you're doing with AI, machine learning, a lot of that, it requires some way for that system, that machine learning or AI system, for example, in a lot of situations, to be able to see the world. Like for a human being, our eyes are the way we see, but for a lot of these machines, वो जो lenses है वो उस तरह से देखते हैं. So जब जहाँ जहाँ ये lenses हो, I think the ideal vision would be कि वो scope के lenses ho. Everywhere from like, you know, endoscopes in medical diagnostics to drone delivery to AR, VR, to, you know, your autonomous vehicle, and of course your smartphone.
I can't wait. It's going to happen.
Inshallah.
I can see that too.
I can see that, inshallah.
Wherever there's machines, wherever you see there's more machine eyes than actually human eyes.
Exactly.
Even today. So
yeah,
I'm sure it will happen.
Yeah. Sure. I think mera ye hai कि I really, here's the thing, more than my company being a household name, I want it कि जो हमारी जो communities है वो sustainable, self-sufficient, sustainable बने. Canada is already banning plastic at the end of this year, and I just want कि using a reusable or a resource or an eco-friendly product should be your first instinct rather than going for a plastic bag. Very simple. ठीक है, बाहर भी जा रहे, grocery करने जा रहे, your first instinct should be to get your own bag. अभी तक मैं देखती हूँ, हाँ बस 2 cent ही है ना, ठीक है plastic bag डाल दो. I don't care about the money, you know, but आप वो plastic bag लेके आ रहे हो, अब वो कहाँ है, वो आपके बच्चों भी की death हो जाएगी ना, वो plastic फिर भी earth पे पड़ा रहेगा. Right? That plastic is not going anywhere. And I will not even, like, it's not even a joke when I say that if plastic had existed at the time of Prophet Muhammad, it probably still exists today on earth, somewhere. It has never gone anywhere. So मुझे ये है कि more than it being just a household name कि, you know, मेरे products हर घर में हो, because they're affordable, I want कि mindset shift हो. And अगर हम कहीं कुछ कर सकते हैं, तो we reach out for a more sustainable lifestyle for the future generation. Climate change is a big thing, and some people think I'm crazy when I say that I feel scared. Okay, inshallah, when and if I have kids, and I'm like, I feel scared to even bring a kid in this life because उनकी life कैसे होगी next generation? कि हम already climate change से battle कर रहे हैं. So many disasters. Look at the heat wave we just went through. Who knows कि क्या होगा, कितने floods होंगे, कितने, maybe they won't have any security, climate security at their age, in their lifetime. So it's very crazy, you know, and I just want कि community sustainable बने enough कि हमारे पास next generation के लिए resources बचे earth पे. Yeah.
Just amazing. No, this is really nice, and it's really feels good that so many people, including yourself, are thinking about this, and and bringing this forward and taking initiatives to address this. So amazing. Sorry. So let's just move a little bit back and let's just drill down on जो journey आप लोगों ने you guys took to reach where you are at. And let's start off from the very beginning. So I'm assuming that it happened for both of you in the university time. कि आप लोगों को, like let's talk about the resources when you were thinking about this startup. जब आप लोगों ने सोचा कि मुझे ये startup बनाना है, मुझे ये काम करना है, whatever. Then क्या resources आपके पास उस time पे available थे? क्या human resources थे? क्या financial resources थे? The goods, like the resources, not the obstacles right now. We'll talk about the obstacles right after. So क्या चीजें आपके पास available थी which made your journey, I won't say easy because it's never easy to become an entrepreneur, but what made your journey possible, let's say?
Rabia, do you want to go first this time?
Yeah, for sure. In terms of, let's start with the basics. तो कुछ भी business करने के लिए पैसे चाहिए होते हैं, right? मेरे पास, that was right after graduation also, तो मैंने अपने startup cost पे cap लगाई थी because I know I could have, because if I was starting with just one product and at home, मैंने बोला था ठीक है, I will not start this with over $1,000. मैंने अपने उस पे कैप लगाई थी, मैंने बोला ओके, मैंने लिखा था 500, मैंने बोला नहीं अभी 500 बहुत कम हो जाएगा, 1000 करते हैं. तो मैंने अपनी सेविंग से 1000 निकाले थे and I did an initial run, खाली 10 beeswax wrap, उसमें से भी 9 तो waste हो गए because अच्छे नहीं बने थे. The good thing about this was because I was at home, I had a lot of family support. ठीक है, तो I didn't have to pay rent for the electricity that I was consuming, testing. I didn't have to pay rent for the space. I took over my entire house and I think my parents got annoyed after 2 months and sent me down to the basement. But initially, I had taken over the entire thing and they were very patient, so that was good. In terms of product testing, I was fortunate that my dad, because we use organic cotton for our beeswax wraps. Fortunately, my dad wears organic cotton shirts. So I went to him and I said, अगर आप goodwill में कुछ देना चाह रहे हो तो वहाँ नहीं दो, यहाँ दे दो, because I'm going to be testing out. So I had a lot of testing material from that. Resources, जैसे मैं सोचा, जो मैं business courses ली थी, जो भी थोड़े से, मुझे बहुत help किए in terms of marketing, getting my numbers set up, getting my Instagram and social set up. थोड़ी तो मेरे पास experience था. वो सब हुआ and friends मेरे बहुत supportive. So I think in that sense, I had a good start. I'll wait for the obstacle question, but if you're talking about the goods, that was, I think, yeah, it was nice to have all that support around me and the space, yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Alicia.
मेरा experience थोड़ा सा जुदा था राबिया से, in the sense that मेरा startup university में ही चालू हुआ. तो जो like resources campus पे है, especially University of Waterloo campus पे है, वो बहुत सारे हैं और बहुत अच्छे हैं. Like Rabia ने पहले से कहा कि without money you really can't do much at the beginning, and the good thing was that all across campus, University of Waterloo पे ही नहीं, लेकिन बहुत सारी Ontario की universities में pitch competitions है, जहाँ तुम्हारी idea, सिर्फ idea in some scenarios, जाके pitch करो और दिखाओ कि इसमें है कुछ. Yeah. And if you are able to convince the judges, then you can get like, some starting money, like जैसे Rabia ने कहा, $1,000, $5,000 लेके. और scope की ये like vision थी, it spoke to a lot of the judges, because a lot of people, you can say that when you try and take out your camera to take a picture of the sunset and you're not able to capture that beauty, or if you are trying, like if you think about a doctor who is trying to zoom in as they're doing an endoscope, and it can change a diagnosis based on how much they can zoom in, for example. If you are able to convey these scenarios, कि इसकी impact or value बहुत है, then they can help fund you. And so Scope got very lucky. Before we graduated, we had raised about, I think, $80,000.
Wow.
And the fact of the matter is that ये जो field है scope की is a heavy deep tech space. And in that sense, it actually needs a lot more money, even more than what we've currently raised, to be able to get to that level. And if you think about what most deep tech startups raise, it's in the thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars range before they actually can create that product. Because you're really diving into ये जो fundamental physics or fundamental optics, ये सब चीजें हैं, उसमें time बहुत लगता है, and you need the resources, the knowledge to be able to hire, for example, a PhD student who's been working on this and that type of thing. So ये जो starting की journey थी वो बहुत different थी, but was only possible honestly because of the resources that were available to us on campus, of having access to the labs. For example, Waterloo में Velocity Incubator है, so they actually give you space, they give you office space, and उसका जो science arm campus पे है वो Velocity Science और फिर Science Innovation Hub, ये different programs है जहाँ तुमको lab space मिल सकती है. And for us, being so science and technology heavy, lab space के बगैर हम कुछ नहीं कर सकते. So that was very, very important. And of course, ये जो patients family के साथ आती है वो भी बहुत बड़ी चीज़ है. Despite the fact that I was on campus, that support that you need, what Rabia was saying earlier, वो जो mental strength की ज़रूरत है, वो network तुम्हारे surrounding है उसके पास से आती है. I'm sorry, my Hindi is so bad.
It's totally cool. This is amazing. Carry on. Sorry, do you have anything else to add? Sorry.
No, that was the main gist of how it began. In terms of getting resources, campus say there was a lot of help from professors or जो administrators थे campus पे. They actually come together to create a community, because especially Waterloo is known for entrepreneurship. So they really strive to give you the resources you need. So that was really helpful at the beginning for us.
I'll actually stay on this topic a little bit more, Alicia. अगर आप हमें बताओ, since you are mentioning about the undergrad, so how the faculty has helped you, can you give us a little insight on let's say faculties वहाँ से आपको वहाँ से support मिला? Was there anyone who was kind of helping you out with the whole कोई professor थे आपके साथ इस पूरी journey के अंदर, or something like that? Do you want to add something?
So जब ये project के रीत से चालू हुआ तो project के because of the fact that it was a school project, जो professor है जिसको तुम project submit करते हो उसकी help तो तुम that is open to you. And in addition to that, ये जो capstone project है across I think North America, उसमें you are assigned an advisor who is supposed to help you through the problems that you have. And so academic support वो avenue से बहुत था. और फिर हम if the professor की knowledge हमारी faculty में नहीं थी तो फिर हम दूसरी faculty के professor को email करते थे कि for example I was in the faculty of engineering and we needed some help from the faculty of science, so मैंने dean of science को email किया और वो हमारा एक बहुत बड़ा advisor बन गया. और not just in the sense of providing academic support in terms of oh हमें ये technical problem है just तुम्हारी advice की ज़रूरत है, but also हमें ये $20,000 microscope की ज़रूरत है और तुम्हारी lab में है ये हम can we use it, and that type of support that you get from professors is incredible. And वो एक side पे है और दूसरी side पे you need, for example, what I mentioned, the lab. So we had applied initially to some of the velocity and concept science programs जो campus पे थे और हमें पता था कि इसके through हमें lab और office access मिलेगी. And luckily we ended up getting through. And even for all of these things, you have to be mentally strong and also have a strong background in being able to pitch your business, because you have to, for every kind of benefit that you can derive on campus, you have to spend time working with them and really pitching your product, pitching your business and your ideas. So that whole experience taught us so much about, how you are able to convey what your vision is. Because essentially, if you're able to do that, then only someone can provide you the help you need, if they're even able to understand what type of help you need, So faculty or university से वो पहली help थी जो, resources और सब मिलने, and then velocity program था जो more hands-on like lab space देने में बहुत help थी वहाँ से. And then the last piece I think for me was मैंने Conrad School of Business में थोड़े बहुत business के courses लिए थे और उसमें I think one of the courses, for example, that I took was after Scope was created. लेकिन वो purpose क्या था कि you come together with like-minded people and you try and find a problem that you want to solve, which हमारे पास already था. So throughout the process of that course, वो जो business की background थी, वो you know तुम्हारे customers कौन होगे, तुम्हारे path to market कैसा होगा, तुम्हारे ये वो business के background, तुम्हारे कौन तुम्हें पैसा देगा, you know, वो चीजें were kind of solidified through taking these courses in the Conrad School of Business. And then just also networking, reaching out to people who had created their own businesses and companies as students and saying, you know, how did you do it? तुम्हें ये problem था तो कैसे तुम्हें surmount किया? And so it was a lot of just everywhere you look, try and find the resources because they're there. It's just a matter of you reaching out and taking it. Especially on a campus setting.
Awesome. I mean, there's a lot of knowledge right here, like in this just last 5 minutes. So to all the audiences, ye wala session recorded hai, and then we'll post it on our Facebook page. So if you want to hear whatever the wonderful panelists have said so far and later on, you can replay this whole recording afterwards as well. So I won't go into too much stuff, but just reiterating what Rabia mentioned initially about the family support. I think वो बहुत important होता है, because even myself, I'm thinking about it. So many times if I think कि भाई बस छोड़ कुछ भी नहीं कर, because going like to Alicia's point that like Alicia had a wonderful product and they got all the fundings that they asked for or competed for. But I did also apply for one of the pitches, but to like my business model is more of like this is a shameless plug. I'm just pitching my stuff in. Sorry for that. So since mine is like more of a kind of a social venture, a social good. So every time I had a question mark, your venture is not going to make any money, so we can't let you in. So all of those kinds of responses, and I was like, should I even just pursue this or should I just so. At that point, family was a real gem. Like they would just come and say, "Koi baat nahi, karo. Any support you need, we'll pitch in, and then we'll see wherever it goes." So, I believe that that's amazing. Even the professors, they have been a huge help. Even in my like small journey at Waterloo. So, amazing. Moving on to the question about obstacles. So I believe Rabia is patiently waiting for this question. So let's talk about whatever obstacles you have had, like major obstacles in the whole journey that you just described. So क्या ऐसे बड़े hurdles आए आपके journey के अंदर which stopped you or which made you rethink your decision of actually going on with your journey?
So again, like as I said, it's just now I have help, but initially when I started, it was just me. Started this company alone, right? तो मतलब अगर आप अकेले करो तो आप एक इंसान कितना करेगा, right? तो वो था कि you do one thing, then other thing gets neglected, फिर it's like a chain. So I remember until very recently actually I was working 17 to 18-hour days. Time ही नहीं मिलता है, right? And this is not my only business or job. तो ऐसा भी था कि मैं बीच में बहुत मतलब burn out हो गई थी and your mental health goes down जब आप you're not taking time out for yourself. तो ये था and my mental health took a really big dip recently. उसके बाद I had to reevaluate a lot of my choices and I said कि now it's high time I see where I can get help, how I can get help. पर ये तो अभी का है. शुरू में भी like as with any new business, especially during COVID में था, तो मतलब people did not have the same disposable income as well. ठीक है, तो pitching the product to someone और जो product वो समझते हैं कि they don't need it because mindset shift चाहिए था, right? So it's very hard to sell it to someone because उनको तो already plastic sheet में मिल रहा है, उनको single use products मिल रहे हैं and they are happy. तो वो करने में बहुत problem हुई also because as a province is very rigid, I've noticed, in this mentality. And they love their single-use products, unlike British Columbia, for example, where eco-friendly is given a lot of value. तो मुझे वो भी प्रॉब्लम था कि मैं एक तो मैं वहाँ से आ रही थी, तो मैं कभी अल्बर्टा में मैं रही नहीं हूँ, and to be able to adjust and make that, encourage that mindset shift within the people that were following me, वो मुझे थोड़ा obstacle लगा. And then मेरे within 3 months of starting, ये जो मैंने गलती की, मैंने within 3 months of starting मैंने retail खोल दिया, मतलब in stores मैंने pitch किया, मुझे मिल भी गया. अब problem ये था कि this was around October, November, और till February, अगर आपको याद है इस साल के, like कोविड की वजह से बहुत सारे stores बार-बार खोल बंद हो रहे थे. Problem ये था कि I have lost at least 6,000 worth of products because वो expire हो जाते हैं. अब stores बंद हैं, कोई खरीद नहीं रहा है, मेरे products वहाँ पे पड़े हैं, shelf life 20 लाख स्टार्स की होती है, जो मेरे other body products है वो तो expire हो जाते हैं because it's all natural and organic. You have to use it within a set amount of time. So I've lost so much money like that, and वो मेरी गलती थी कि मैंने इतनी जल्दी मैंने retail खोल दिया. And I honestly I wouldn't have learned if I hadn't tried. अब ये पता, अब now in retrospect I think कि मैं कितनी blunder की कि मैंने कोविड में ही मैंने ये कर दिया, जब मैंने सोचा नहीं कि stores तो बंद हो जाएंगे, and खोलते थे और बंद होते थे. And so now I've taken a step back as well, even though I know the stores will remain open more, but I'm really testing out my waters now, and it's all about safe choices as well. Again, you know, risk नहीं लेते तो पता नहीं चलता. तो ये obstacles था कि मैंने बहुत पैसे भी lose किए हैं because of the situation. Yes.
Agreed, and you don't learn until you get hit, you know. So I've had my fair share of all of those experiences as well. What about you, Alicia? आपको क्या लगता है कि आपके लिए क्या बड़े-बड़े obstacles थे for your journey?
इस जो journey में है, I'm sure Rabia can also say that every other day बड़े-बड़े obstacle आ जाते हैं जो तुमको लगता है कि ये अभी बंद होगा इसके लिए. लेकिन I think वो एक जो बड़ा mental hurdle जो था was कि ये industry technology की जिसमें हम जा रहे हैं, उसमें companies like billions or trillions of dollars की बड़ी companies है जिसके साथ हम compete करने जा रहे हैं, और इसमें professors और experts है जो सालों से इस industry में है. तो हम like थोड़े बहुत you know अभी graduate भी नहीं हुए वो time पे, हम कैसे ये कर सकेंगे. और I think वो mental hurdle वो था कि like हमसे ये नहीं होगा. और I think जब हम research कर रहे थे और लोगों के साथ बात कर रहे थे जो इंडस्ट्री में एक्सपर्ट्स थे, तो हमें पता लग रहा था कि ऑफ कोर्स रिसोर्सेज और सब बहुत है ये इंडस्ट्री में, लेकिन ये गैप भी है इंडस्ट्री में, और अभी तक ये गैप फिल नहीं हुआ है. तो अपॉर्चुनिटी है, यू जस्ट हैव टू ट्राई एंड आइडेंटिफाई दैट गैप. एंड ऑफ कोर्स बहुत से लोग इस गैप को फिल करने के पीछे है. But I think the thing that we realized was that the more you know, the more you spend time actually on this problem, you become the expert, then you become the person after having spent all that time that people will come to say like, okay, now how can we fix this? And if you spend wo jo time hai, effort hai, wo mehnat hai, din raat ki, if you spend that time doing that, then you can get to that position. And the other thing that we realized was, Rabia talked a lot about risk, and for us that risk was in the industry that these big companies, अगर वो ये नए से product को introduce करेंगे, उसके लिए ये बहुत बड़ी risk है to change their entire supply chain, for example. And we have that opportunity to capitalize on that risk for them. If we take that risk on a small setting, in a small scale, क्योंकि हम small ही है, तो फिर and we can kind of show that we can make this product and grow it into a different industry. First go into, let's say, microscopy or LiDAR, manufacturing vision, और वहाँ पे we can show them that ये जो चीज़ है हम scalable तरीके से बना सकते हैं. We can grow it, reliability हम prove कर सकते हैं. तो फिर वो उसके लिए वो जो risk है हम निकाल सकते हैं, and then we can become their partners. We can work with them and show that now we can scale it even more. And so we kind of understood that we can capitalize on the risk for them and take away their risk by doing this. And in that process, we can also prove to ourselves that our technology works, is reliable, is scalable, and validated in that sense. And so that's the process we're working on right now.
Wow. Amazing. I mean, I don't even have any words because like aap logon ka jo sare hurdles hain, I believe that's so much bigger than mine right now. so I can't even like put my my words over there. So
but you're still providing great value, Kamran. So I'm sure bahut sare log hai jo ye appreciate karte hain. So keep doing the good job.
Thank you. So we talked about the obstacles and we did talk about the good things, the good support that you guys have. We do have a question from Instagram. So I'll just move on to that before I ask my next question. So where do you guys see your business in the next 5 years? So आप लोगों का क्या vision in the next 5 years? What do you expect your business to be in?
I think for me, मेरा अभी वैसे भी चल रहा है कि within the next 3 and 4 years, I really want. Do you guys know what a refillery is?
Sounds familiar, but I think थोड़ा बहुत explanation though.
Like refillery, as the name suggests, it's where you come. It's like a store, and जहाँ पे हर चीज आपको bulk में पड़ी होती है bins में, ठीक है? You name it and it's there. Obviously, मेरा niche है kitchen and home living. So let's imagine कि all eco-friendly kitchen and home living products, beeswax wraps, bamboo straws, आपके bath products, toilet cleaners, everything is in big bins, ठीक है? पड़े हुए. अब ये है कि आप आओ अपना घर के बर्तन लेके या फिर जो भी डब्बा आप अपने घर में यूज करते हो, जो भी आपको स्टोर बेसन जार व्हाटएवर, यू कम और आपको जितना प्रोडक्ट लेना है ना, अब वो अपने बिन में डालो, अपने बर्तन में. यू ओनली पे फॉर दैट प्रोडक्ट, यू हैव योर ओन पैकेजिंग. तो आप घर जाके वही बॉटल वापस अपने कबर्ड में रख दो. ना तो आप एक्स्ट्रा पैकेजिंग खरीद रहे हो, ना मुझे आपको कुछ देना है. यू आर ओनली कमिंग टू बाय द प्रोडक्ट और यू हैव द स्टोरेज ऑलरेडी इन योर हाउस. वही चीज आप लेके आते हो, भर के वापस लेके जाते हो. सो इन द नेक्स्ट 3 and 4 years, आई रियली वांट टू ओपन अ स्पेस here where यहाँ पे ऐसी चीजें हैं पर मेरे एरिया में नहीं है. I want to open a space in my area where जहाँ लोग आए अपने घर के सामान की डेली क्लीनिंग या जो भी चीजें हैं, जितना उनको चाहिए वो उतने का पे करके वापस अपने घर के लेके जाए. That's what I want to do, to reduce waste as well. And everything will be all natural and very away from chemicals. Yes.
Just to understand a little bit more, so it's something like a bulk barn, but
bulk barn, but for let's say home living and kitchen products. Yeah.
Wow, that's an amazing idea.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever lives in Edmonton, you guys are in Edmonton, Calgary?
Edmonton, yeah.
Edmonton. So yeah, look forward to Siempre Eco's products. Lisha.
So अभी तक हम ये टेक्नोलॉजी डेवलप कर रहे हैं. आई थिंक 5 years और ऑनेस्टली 1 साल के अंदर हमें ये टेक्नोलॉजी पूरी से डेवलप करनी है. तो हम नेक्स्ट लाइक 1 वर्ष के अंदर, 1 साल के अंदर, सॉरी आई एम मिक्सिंग गुजराती एंड हिंदी. 1 साल के अंदर हम ये जो हमारी रिलेटिवली छोटी मार्केट है और जो मैंने कहा था कि माइक्रोस्कोपी, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग विजन और लाइडार की, उसके अंदर हम अल्फा और बीटा ट्रायल कहते हैं वो करने लगे. तो हमारे प्रोडक्ट को कोई एक्चुअली टेस्टिंग कराए इंडस्ट्री में और वो जो रिफाइनमेंट्स करने के हैं वो 1-2 साल में करे और फिर सेकंड साल में हम ये जो बड़ी स्मार्टफोन की कंपनी है उसके साथ वो सेम अल्फा और बीटा ट्रायल्स करने लगे. एंड इसका बेनिफिट क्या है, which I think I alluded to before, was that when we're in these early markets, you don't have, and I think this is something that as you're thinking about being an entrepreneur, ये विचार है, you should try and think about it, is if the aim that you have is very high, what steps can you take along the way to really prove yourself. So for example, हमारे लिए स्मार्टफोन के अंदर जो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स है वो बहुत छोटी होनी चाहिए और वो बनाने में बहुत सी डिफिकल्टी है. तो पहली जो मार्केट है जिसमें हम जा रहे हैं, फॉर एग्जांपल माइक्रोस्कोपी, उनके अंदर बहुत छोटी इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स की ज़रूरत नहीं है. तो we can focus on making sure that the optical quality of our lenses, जो optical power है वो sufficient है और refine करने लगे. तो फिर जब हम स्मार्टफोन की इंडस्ट्री में एंटर हो रहे हैं, then we've had all that time to not only make money in the early market that we can use to, you know, bolster ourselves जब हम स्मार्टफोन की इंडस्ट्री एंटर करें, पर also कि हम ये जो बहुत rigid technical requirements है, optical power, quality और you know size, electronics की सब, वो हम refine करें वो early market में. So I think 5 साल के अंदर we'd like to be established within, you know, the smartphone industry and start बड़े पाए पे ये जो बड़ी supply chain है वो change करने लगे.
So inshallah in 5 years time हम लोग जो next smartphone लेंगे तो उसके अंदर scope photonics का lens होगा.
Knock on wood. Yes.
Zabardast. That's awesome. So coming back to the list of questions, list of areas I wanted to touch. So let me give you a scenario kind of thing to explain this question. So for example, as Rabia mentioned, this happened to me as well. There were sometimes my mood was so down, I was thinking about giving up and all those kinds of stuff. But there happened some things that actually kept me going. I still remember somebody called me from the platform that we were using. They called me and said, "Oh, thank you so much for having this thing." And उस इंसान ने जिसने मुझे call किया, they moved their career with one mentorship kind of session they had with a mentor. So उसने पूरी information लिया and then he was like, maybe this is not for me, and then they moved their own career. They had admissions and everything, but they switched their career at the last moment, and they were like, because of this platform I was able to do so. So that actually, like, that was just one person at that time, and I was like, if that person had that kind of a difference, I don't know like how big of a difference would it be, even if there's like a few more individuals. So like that was something, an event that actually was a great kind of uplift for my mood, for my mindset, for keep going. So tell us about some incidents, anything, any story, anything you have that actually impacted your journey, your mindset to keep going in that way. So yeah, I'll give you some moment to think about that, and whenever you're ready, I would like Alicia to go first.
Sounds good. I mean, one of the big, I think, things that bolsters me on a daily basis is just जब मैं लोग के साथ बात करती हूँ और ये explain करती हूँ कि ये चीज़ like what is it, or how does it work, and you see kind of a light behind people's eyes light up of like, oh wow, ये बहुत बढ़िया चीज़ है, ये जो हमारे phone में अभी like if it was there right now, like, you know, for example, I was talking to someone and they were saying that you can now have apps on your phone that use your camera to you know, look, if for example, if you're in a part of the world where you don't have clean water, but you have, and now it seems there's phones in places you don't have water, but you can look in the water and like see how clean it is, or you can look at, you know, different types of bacteria or things like that just with the camera. So if this was in the camera now, वो जो functionality है वो कितनी और बढ़ जाएगी, and it can help in so many different areas that you don't even initially think about. And when you tell people about this and they start giving you ideas back of, oh, this can be helpful, yahan bhi, then you see the value that you could be adding beyond even what you had thought. And I think whenever I have वो type के conversation, मुझे लगता है कि नहीं, ये चीज़ मैं जो विचार कर रही हूँ इसके beyond भी जा सकते हैं. Or I think the other kind of thing that when you feel, I think some kind of motivation to keep going is, of course, when you win something, be it जो pitch competition है या राबिया जैसे कह रही थी वो contracts है जो आते हैं, and it gives you this idea कि नहीं, not only is this exciting to, you know, of course, if I tell my friends, maybe they'll be excited about most things I tell them that I'm working on, but now there's some validation I'm getting from the industry, like ये जो contract है उसमें मुझे दिख रहा है कि नहीं, monetary भी कोई value है जो tangible है, you know. So yeah.
Wow.
I think मेरे लिए sometimes I think the most fulfilling experience है मुझे हमेशा way forward करता है. Even if it's like just every day hearing stories from like customers के हमने आपका ये use किया और हम ये use करते हैं. And it's just a fulfilling thing to see कि कितने लोग अब यहाँ मेरे around बहुत कम मतलब किसी ने मुझे उस दिन पर से बोला कि आपको पता है हमने 4 महीने से cling wrap का वो नहीं लिया है roll. And I'm like, wow. And they're like, हाँ, हम तो beeswax wrap use कर रहे हैं, हमारा खाना भी fresh है. And I'm like, it's such a nice thing to hear, right? And even ignoring all that, the amount of changes मैंने देखे अपने खुद के घर में. My parents have become eco ambassadors. Like it's insane to see that my dad goes out shopping now. And मतलब he's carrying all the these reusable grocery bags, and वहाँ जाके he's feeling so cool because he's the one putting in this reusable thing, and I can see it on his face. And I said, "You're really enjoying this, aren't you?" And he's like, "हाँ, मुझे अच्छा लगता है कि मैं बाहर जाऊँ, मैं reusable use करूँ." And he's like, किसी ने मुझे उस दिन रोका था, and he's बोला, "Wow, आप तो reusable use कर रहे हो." And he felt so proud, and he's like, "Yes, my daughter makes it." And I think that's just like it's such a fulfilling thing to see. Even at home, हमने कितने 6 महीने से हमने cling wrap use नहीं किया है. And my mom it's so nice to see कि मेरी mom जब भी जाती है बाहर या जमा खाने में, she's always like, I want to say like, I don't know, she's always talking about these products, and it's weird because I live right next in the house, but then to see कि खुद के घर में हमने कितना waste divert किया है और हम कितने eco-friendly बन गए. So I think even just seeing that on a daily basis, I know I'm doing something right. Yeah.
Wow. And I believe for an entrepreneur, like ये इस तरह के mood lifters are so important to keep anyone going.
Yeah.
Is like there are much more downs than ups, but these ups are so special. Like you just feel कि भाई नहीं, I have to do it for these individuals. I have to do it for the change I'm going to bring. So I also believe that's really important. So thank you so much for sharing that. I'll just take a look if we have more questions on either of the two platforms. Perfect. So let's just go a little bit back again. Sorry about that. So thinking back to your education, to your development of these skills that you had, अलग-अलग आपने trainings लिया हो या आपका कोई experience हो, going back, do you think there is something missing that you should have had at an earlier stage, some kind of training, कुछ किसी का network, किसी का कुछ like some kind of program that you watched in a different university that you should have had access to? Something do you think that you should have access to at an earlier time than what you do now, let's say?
I think really because I keep saying that this company, I didn't get the idea to run a business till I graduated, till the jobs went out of my hand. But in retrospect, अगर मुझे ये idea शुरू से होता कि बस मुझे graduate करके अपना business ही करना है, then I think in retrospect कि मैं अगर university में तब मुझे resources मिल जाते, right? I would have been in some incubators here and there and all that. अभी मेरे लिए बहुत difficult है because I'm no longer affiliated as a student with a university. So I find it very difficult to get the same kind of help and resources that I could have gotten अगर मैंने let's say 3rd या 4th year में मैंने अगर idea भी अपना business plan formulate कर लिया होता. मुझे ये है कि this is my main thing. Yeah.
Makes sense.
I think मेरे लिए वो जो understanding है ना कि you can start this at any time, and वो भी के resources है, you have to ask for them. I think जब तुम like first second year में हो तो तुम्हें लगता है कि मैं इस लोग को जानती नहीं हूँ, मैं कैसे ईमेल करके ये बहुत सारा पूछ सकती हूँ और ये opportunity है या नहीं मुझे पता नहीं. लेकिन there's so much, I think, fluctuation internally of should I just reach out? Even that first step of sending a cold email or a cold call is so difficult when you're, in the mindset you're first year, fresh on campus, everything is new. So I wish that I had started doing that a little bit earlier, because the more you talk to people in whatever it is you want to work on, वो जो पहला phone call है, उसमें you don't realize कि अगर जिस इंसान वो मानस जिसके साथ तुम बात कर रहे हो वो तुम्हें शायद हेल्प नहीं कर सकता, लेकिन उसको प्रोबेबली पता होगा कि कौन उसके नेटवर्क में तुमको हेल्प कर सकता है, और बाय रीचिंग आउट वो इंसान भी तुम्हारे नेटवर्क में आ जाएंगे, बट ऑल्सो उसके नेटवर्क सब जो है वो भी तुम्हारे नेटवर्क में आ जाएंगे. एंड स्पेशली ये जो एकेडमिक्स है, प्रोफेसर्स है, और इंडस्ट्री में भी जो लीडर्स है, वो मोर ऑफ्टन देन नॉट वो पोजिशन में है where they want to give back, they want to help, and you don't realize that. You think, oh, ये बहुत बड़ा इंसान है, इसके वो मेरा जवाब भी नहीं देगा, and that's just not true, and you will not know if you don't try. And what's the worst that can happen? They won't reply, which then you wouldn't have had the connection to begin with. So I think just that courage beginning में कि reach out or start learning sooner, faster about the things you want. I think it's important to have that courage as early as possible.
I would totally agree, and I also, when I look back to myself, there are so many things I would have wanted to start earlier, similar to what Alicia just mentioned. So I think that's really wonderful advice for anyone who's listening, anyone who wants to make a career, not just in entrepreneurship, but anything else. Like I think these connections, connect करना लोगों से, having that courage, वो बहादुरी दिखा के making that effort, और वो पहला step लेना बहुत important है, I believe. So thank you Alicia and Rabia for that. So we are coming to an end, so I'll close off with some questions that the audiences can take away. And before that, I'll just want to know a little bit about your future plans, not the ones related to startup. Let's say, like, what do you want to do, either like something on yourself that would benefit the startup afterwards, or something like that, just to know about your future, let's say.
I think for me, अभी तो मैं currently grad school के लिए apply कर रही हूँ. So I want to study community development and engagement. क्योंकि मेरा ultimate plan है कि मैं AKDN में काम करूँ. So I want to go into that field. तो मैं उसके लिए भी apply कर रही हूँ. And other than that, I am on a personal level, I'm about to join some dance classes because I just need to get out of the house. And get back into boxing.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, nice.
मेरे plans भी ये further education के है. So I actually very recently applied to Harvard Business School क्योंकि मुझे business की side बहुत अच्छी लगी जब startup करने लगी, क्योंकि मेरा background सिर्फ engineering में ही था. And so I knew that I needed more knowledge and experience, and really the connection that comes with business school. So I think next year Harvard Business School में जा रही हूँ, और उसके बाद I hope to start, more businesses, more ventures, and just keep trying to create things that add value to people's lives. और फिर personal note पे I would like time to just, I think, go out and enjoy with my family. For a few weeks, I've come home to Calgary, so I'm really excited to spend more time with my parents. And so, yeah, that's, I think, the main thing on my plans for the next little while.
Nice. And then as anyone who's hearing, so it's very important to take care of yourself, to take care of what you enjoy, do what you enjoy. That's really, really important. That keeps you going. That helps you not break down at times, I would say. So बहुत important है आप breaks लें, इस तरह की dance classes, boxing classes, spend time with your family. That's really important. And it's a lifelong learning process. So I'm glad you guys are going into your further education, and I'm excited, Rabia, to hear that you want to work in academia, and I do too, in long term. But yeah, so that's really nice. Very final thing, one thing that you want to share with the upcoming entrepreneurs, जो भी नया business start करना चाहते हैं, no matter किस field में हो, or if you want like in your field, अगर कोई ऐसी advice आप देना चाहते हो जिससे आपको लगता है बहुत impact पड़ेगा with on their journey, they can वो लोग वो mistakes नहीं करेंगे जो आपने किया, या वो लोग जो आपने, for example, अगर आपने ऐसी चीज की जो that turned out to be very useful, anything that you want to share, or any piece of advice you want to give to these emerging entrepreneurs?
Yeah, I think the one thing that I'll tell you is be patient. Don't rush into things, because I have a very hard time being patient, and I know that's my big weakness. So be patient, and even if it takes a few weeks to to idealize an idea, apna time le, and make sure you have all your bases covered before you jump into something. That being said, अगर आपको लग रहा है कि आपको हेल्प चाहिए, जो आपको जरूरत पड़ेगी, don't be afraid to ask for help. The worst thing that will happen is कि वो बोलेंगे no, I can't help you or sorry. But at least आपने try किया, and don't ever feel like you're alone. ठीक है, तो मतलब you have to ask for help and just be open about your journey. Don't feel like you are less than anybody else, because अगर आपने ये start करने का भी idea लिया है ना, that's very brave. Not everyone starts something that some people they sit on an idea, सालों तक वो idea के बारे में सोचते रहते हैं, और फिर 10 साल बाद जब वो टाइम आता है तो already it's too late. तो ऐसा भी नहीं है, take your time, but don't also get it to be too late. Just go in, you learn as you go.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think be strategically patient. You know, when you need to act fast, of course, act fast, but realize that, oh, like, for especially for the tech industry, like if I don't need to give away how this works right now, I shouldn't. थोड़ा सा wait करूँ और जो leverage है वो build करूँ और फिर वो जो चीज़ है वो करूँ तो मुझे maximum benefit मिले. So I think that being strategically patient, Rabia, you got that point exactly. And I think दूसरी चीज़ ये है कि find any tools you can to help save you time. And what I mean by that is entrepreneur की life में hundreds of decisions होते हैं per day, like very small decisions and very big decisions. And ideally you want to focus, तुम्हें focus करना है वो जो बड़े decisions है उस पे जो जिसके effects बहुत बड़े हैं. Or if you make 100 tiny little decisions per day, sometimes you can get tired when you're making those big decisions and it affects it. So anything that any tools you can find to help you make the small decisions easier, then, just make use of that, because that's saving you time essentially. And in this game, time is everything. So.
Definitely. Thank you so much to both of you, and I would totally agree. And some things that I have learned from this session, जो मैंने सीखा इस session से, about for sure about patience, first of all, because I am a very impatient person. So there's so many things that I have learned, and I'll definitely मैं खुद apply करूँगा उसको अपनी entrepreneurship journey में. And I really hope and I wish कि जो भी entrepreneurs हमारा ये session देख रहे हैं, they're gonna learn so much from this thing. And if you have any questions that you come across, just send us your questions via our social media platforms, and we'll try to get to our panelists, and then we will get back to you with your questions if anything that you have afterwards. But thank you so much everyone for attending. This session is recorded and will be on our social media pages and our YouTube page very soon. So I'm looking forward to the next episode. We are yet to decide the topic. It's a monthly series, so we'll hopefully come back to you in 1 month's time. But till then, stay safe, stay secure, take care of yourself, and keep learning.